I'm your host, Jason Gallardo, and welcome to the first ever episode on the Note After Note podcast. Here we talk about music, songwriting, producing, and so much more. If you don't follow me on any of my socials, I am a musician. I've been making music since the year of 2022, and I started releasing music during April of 2023. Music has been a passion of mine since I was a little kid, and it has been with me ever since then. I sing, write, and produce all of my own songs, which you can listen to under my name on Spotify. Now, let's get into today's episode. Today is October 25th, 2024. Before we get into today's episode, I just want to thank you all for tuning in to the first episode of the podcast. It means a lot. Now, today we are going to talk about the release of my new single, You're a Fool. We're going to touch these points such as the story behind it, the feeling I wanted to portray with the song, and how I went with producing it. You're a Fool was originally supposed to be an April Fool's prank for all of my music listeners, and I was going to make this fake song and release it on April Fool's Day, but when I started making it, it started sounding extremely good. And I knew once I already had a verse on it, I had to continue working on the song. So, story time. This song was about a person who ghosted me, and I'm not holding a grudge against them. I actually thank them because I made a great song out of it. I mean, I love the song, it helped me get over that person. Anyways, I had a crush on this person, and they found out. I got rejected, obviously, but we continued to be friends. I messaged them the next day saying hey, because we literally used to talk every day. I got no answer. I thought maybe they were busy, and a few days later, I asked them if they were okay. Still undelivered. A week later, I asked them if I did something wrong. I was left on red. So after that, I sent them a message saying how I felt about the situation, which I was honest, and we had a little back and forth test, and next thing you know, we aren't friends. This wasn't the only thing that made me a little mad, but I will not get into that. In all actuality, this song could be applied to anyone who all of a sudden drops me, with no explanation to. That story was just how I was drawn to make the song. When I was writing this song, I wanted to write how I felt after that whole thing happened. It was a big moment, especially it being my first time being ghosted. So I started writing. I got the first verse semi finished, and that was it. That's when I released the unfinished demo of the song on April 1st, and after that, I was really happy with how it sounded, and I wanted to work on it more. So I extended the track, made a structure to it, and that's how the music came about. My favorite part in the song will forever be the second verse. The beat, the trumpet solo, which I happened to improvise somehow, the piano in the background, and mainly the lyrics. When I was writing it, I wanted to really portray how I felt, so I crammed a lot of lyrics in that verse. I tend to follow the 4 to 8 line structure when I'm writing songs, but with this song, I had so much to say, so the structure was completely out of the door. This song was the most difficult to sing out of all the songs I've ever written, especially since I'm a bass 2 choir. I can barely sing high most of the time. So the fact that I even finished this song was incredible. Speaking of singing in choir, I love songs that have background vocals like a choir. Basically, I made a repeating of the lyrics back and forth between the main vocals and the choir. If you listen closely to the snippet, you can hear all the layers put into the vocals. I thought we were cool. Oh, you had me fooled. Why would you lie to my face? Meeting you was a mistake. Oh, listen right here. Listen right here. You can't treat me this way. You can't treat me this way. I'm tired of playing these games with you. So yeah, I think making harmonies and ad libs is definitely my favorite part about making music. Mentioning Phineas, one of my favorite producers out there, he comps vocals, which is basically taking different takes and mashing them into one. I did a lot of takes during this song, so I had to make sure it sounded right. Um, Even my favorite artist, Billie Eilish, she loves ad libs. She loves how they sound and how they make a song better. And when listening to the snippet, it just made the song have more depth and more visual aspect to it. And the song basically sums up the message I sent to the person after um, ghosting me for how many weeks or whatever. The verses are as if I'm speaking to them after I figured out the fact that they ghosted me. The second verse shows a bit more, I wouldn't say anger, but it shows a little bit more frustration. Are you conceited because you're full of yourself? Get professional help for that mind of yours because you basically said that you were bored. I found out that the person was saying stuff to my friends like, oh yeah, I'm ignoring him. And saying that my crush was like funny and stuff, making jokes about it and stuff. So after hearing that from my friends, it really inspired this second verse. And I'm not hurt by the situation. I don't like lying, and I'm more of a honest person. With this next snippet, it shows the second verse of me cramming all the lyrics into the verse, the trumpet solo that I made, and just the vibe of it gets you moving. Let's play the next snippet. The things you did should have sent me to tears. Your apology wasn't sincere. Are you conceited? Cause you're full of yourself. Get professional after that mind of yours. Cause you basically said you were bored. Did you think that I deserved this? I mean, was it one little line sending over by? Did you try to make things up with us? I just wanted to understand how you've been trying to make amends, but now you're speechless. Guess that makes two of us. I love the riffs that I added into this song. Usually with the songs I make, there isn't enough room for complex riffs like some of the ones in this song. I think riffs are another difficult part of working on a song for me, especially when I think working on something that you aren't necessarily a pro at can help you get better at what you're trying to achieve. With the second chorus of the song, it's the same lyrics as the first, but with more layers. The pre-chorus slides into the next note for the chorus, saying, I wish you well. Speaking of the pre-chorus, saying now you're speechless, guess that makes two of us, is such an important line because when you ghost someone, there's no form of communication. You don't speak. And when I found out they were speaking behind my back, I was speechless at the time, because why did they feel the need to speak about me like that? It doesn't make sense. But in the last snippet of the episode, you will hear the rest of the pre-chorus, the second chorus, and finally the outro. The outro basically said, listen, I'm done. Don't try to blame me for how you played this out. One thing I can say is, it's my fault for even liking you in the first place. Now let's continue with the last snippet. I've had a lot to say. I wish you well, 'cause you're a fool. You're such a fool. Blame my mama like my therapist. Why are you such a piece of? This is my last message to you. Thinking you cared brought me right back to tears. Your apology wasn't sincere. Listen up, you know what you did. Don't try to pin the blame on me. It's bull, I guess it's my fault for believing the fool. Unfortunately, that is all we have for today. I could ramble all about music and the behind the scenes of it forever, but it has to come to an end. I want to thank you all for listening to the first episode of the Note After Note podcast. Make sure to stream my new single, You're a Fool, wherever you listen to music, and feel free to check out my other music as well. Follow me on my Instagram at jason.j.gallardo, as well as my other socials such as TikTok and YouTube with the same at. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful day. And just know, if you listen to music, note after note, it tells a story. Keep listening to music one at a time, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye now.